Good morning and Formula. Of course, I listen to SLBC with the broadcast live from the Parliament building. Today, in the state opening of the second session of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic of Sierra Leone. His Excellency the President, Brigadier Retired Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Supreme Head of State and Minister of Defense. Well, we welcome the Vice President. Of course, the Vice President who can't take the guard of honor. You're there with the Speaker of the House of Parliament, the Honorable Speaker Singapore. Of course, the Vice President to take the salute from the regiment Tal. All right, the Vice President will take the salute, and we await the arrival of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, as today at the state opening of the second session of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic. And of course, they await the state opening because the president will go for address the nation. Normally, every end of Parliament, because the 5th Parliament end on the 5th of August. That tells you that a 5-year term of the 5th Parliament don't end yesterday, and according to Constitution, whenever that happened, His Excellency the President, we go calm for calm, of course, on a state opening of that second term of the 6th Parliament. Because this one at the 6th Parliament, remember, we will get an election after the end of the 5th Parliament. We done. So now it don't end. The 5th Parliament don't end, and His Excellency therefore do a state opening. We go address the nation, and of course, addressing the nation by His Excellency, a lot of things them. We go hear from the president. We go talk about agriculture. Remember, when the president come in second term, he talk about the 5 game changer, where he talk about agriculture, he talk about human resource, he talk about education, they talk about health, all lengthen in the, of course, we put together, now they help a country for develop. And of course, especially the agriculture, where it talk that we're able for feed ourselves. And we're able for feed ourselves to the extent that we send them to another country. So the president are one of the key game changer that day, we in agriculture, for the 5 game changer. So today, His Excellency, we can talk how far that important side na the game changer don dey move. Because agriculture is very important in the country. It dey improve the country economy. It dey make the people of that country they not angry, they get thing for it. So today we go hear from the president. I'm not going to know exactly the particular order where he tailor in speech, but I just want to tell you, say, definitely the president must talk about the agriculture, and he must talk about energy, he must talk about health, he must talk about importance in them. So if I don't say His Excellency go therefore talk about a lot of things. So they await the arrival at any time, because we see a lot of guests them already there. We see the Chief Minister, we see the Chief Justice. It come with all the battery of judges. But make I talk to one of the strategic communication experts, Imran Sila. Good morning. Welcome to SMBC.
Good morning, Danmos. Family on how do.
Now, this, of course, His Excellency, we do a state complaint on the second session of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic. Now look at the significance of this kind of arrangement.
Well, I mean, statutorily, at the time where President the open Parliament, and it means get for calm and can lay in government in plan and vision over the period. We're going to be deliberated by MPs them. After I go down give statement at Parliament, I will give the people of this country also another opportunity for hearing and understand within exactly the president gets in mind and how he plan for take this country. Plenty of the thing and though we don't see president don't talk about over time. This could be an opportunity for him for crystallize and drive home them points and there again. Let's not forget very recently we get the presidential town hall, first in the history of this country by a sitting head of state and president of the republic. And he talked about plenty things there. So we too will see President Bilo do now so today will essentially be a follow-up of that presidential town hall. But then it will go into some fine details on education, on healthcare, on agriculture and food security, right, on infrastructural development, on trade, and plenty of other things there. His Excellency the President will lay the vision, right, for this country and in government for the next 4 years.
Obviously, because you know, the president don't talk about the 5-year change.
Yeah.
When and actually they have our own anytime we go. People are going to know about how the 5-game changer don't they take up, you know. And we know say obviously one important for the 5-game changer is food.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you don't go around.
Yeah.
I mean, what you don't see, you know, in terms of food security.
So, I mean, for me, I don't see a lot of progress in terms of President Bio's vision on food security and agriculture. We don't see a lot of machinery don't be attracted, right, to the project. We also don't see central to food security and agriculture. We don't see a lot of resource mobilization because that's a capital-intensive project. Not to tell you they do no more so one. You therefore be back to the right resources and the right know-how and expertise, right, but then also the right machinery. Very recently in Vienna, President Biogo, we see a commitment of $800 million. In the month of June to July, there's a total commitment of $2 billion US dollars to Sierra Leone. Plenty of which get for go on food security and agriculture, but then also on energy. So again, when President Biobin launched the Feed Saloon project in Apujon district on World Food Day, it sets himself some benchmark for this government that year on year, the objective and the focus now for reduce the importation of rice by 25%. Over a 3-year period, the desire now for reduce them by 75%. So, now we'll take and say this first year of President Bio in second and final term as President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, now for set the stage for begin actual and proper work on food security and feed salon, yeah, on food security and agriculture, sorry. So that by the time we go now into 2025, we all, not only for government but as citizens of this country also, we will begin the stake stock. President Bio in government will reach the first threshold of 25% in the reduction of importation of rice. If you not reach 25%, which are the percentage? And why make it not reach 25%? Which are the shortfalls? Which are the challenges? And which we will take away in terms of successes in the first year. And so we will see year on year, progressively, we all be able to sit down and critique and look back at them threshold and benchmark what President Bio done said. But let us not forget, His Excellency the President committed. Now that make you find out in that presidential town hall, it consistently been the talk about the efforts on free quality education. When it began in the early part of 2018, people doubt them. People say, no, they happy. Who side the money they come on? Who side they get them? How they manage mobilize resources? Here we are today, as one of the lasting legacies of President Bio in government when it go done in 2028, we will certainly talk about free quality education. That was because President Bio showed the drive and determination and we get the vision and be able to commit 22% of this country in budgets to free quality education. Same way so, His Excellency the President remains energized for follow through on his commitment to agriculture and feed salon, but then also on energy, on human capital development, on employment. Not forgetting that it's a target of 500,000 jobs over a period of 5 years. We don't see the Ministry of Labor, right? Don't get an app and don't devise a technology for able to capture jobs where this country they generate. So we're able to take stock again and see how many jobs we don't get between now to 2028. President Bio in vision, Natue is stubbornly remain committed to, and he will follow through on that. And I should say, at the end of his second and final term in 2028, this country will look back at this period and remain grateful and thankful that we will see an individual named Julius Mada Woni-Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, from 2018 to 2028.
All right. Why should we wait for the president to come? I would say one of the driving force, for us to achieve all that, our energy.
Yeah.
And we look at the energy status because looking around, still we're not able to get at it. We're really not able to get at it. So because one of the things that will go attract foreign investors will come into the country.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I don't say plans and they for improve on electricity in this country.
No, so again, I'll go back to Vienna and some of them commitments and they that $800 million US, now for not only for agriculture and food security, but it's also for energy. We don't see again very recently, His Excellency the President will launch that gas energy project, Nakisi Terminal. That's another $417 million US. We know say MCC money, right? There's the commitments now of $480 million US. All of that then are for transform the energy sector. And let's not forget, on top of that, we already at this point in time get 120 towns and villages on alternative sources of power, number one. Number two, just last week, I'm in Debo. I talked to one the World Bank guy, they went and they actually dip on this project. There are plans for rollout, another 100 more towns and villages, in addition to the 120 who already exist. Why am I saying this? Now, simply because we understand, say, critical to national development and any developmental agenda, any country has to be energy. Yeah, and we'll not just dey talk about energy for consumption. Not to dan most you get 24-hour light and all of them thing in there. It has to go beyond that. So within President Bio focus on now what they call energy for development. We're going to power big industries, right, and companies and attract big investments in the private sector for make sure so we're able to attract the necessary jobs them and all of them thing in there. Now that make you see we're able to attract the kind of money that attract over the period. And then money then they go towards MCC money, definitely, and for developer now, for extend the backbone, make sure to bring stability, right, and sustainability. It also include, as we don't already hear, plans for the EDSA and EGTCA become more responsive to the challenges of the 21st century energy sector and the demands of farm, but then also the vision for the future in terms of what we want the energy sector for look like. So critical, and I agree with you 110% that energy is very important to national development. Now that make President Bio don't focus on energy. Now that make it don't focus on agriculture and food security. Now that make we talk about private sector growth and 500,000 jobs. Look, then say 1,000 miles they start from the very first step. USA won't come up from 2018 to now. I think we can safely say, as Sierra Leoneans, that we have made progress. By every single indicator. Just yesterday, we heard say inflation is down to 31%. I'm sure, as part of what President Bio will get for talk today, that might just be included in it. Now, for long, no say, when World Bank and IMF been tell we in the early parts of 2018, under President Julius Maada Bio say, law will maintain what we call policy stamina and policy focus. Now, this then be mean. There is now policy stamina, there is now policy focus. Now that make we don't see from October last year, when inflation been there at 54%, to USA Odeso now at 31%. It means things are working. It may be challenging, it may be difficult, but we look to the medium to long term. On them policies there are and the vision of President Bio, follow able to get and right by 10 President Bio the done in second and final term as President of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
You know, happy when you mentioned about inflation, because I can remember when the Bank of Salon celebrates the 60th anniversary.
Yeah.
His Excellency will make a statement at the Bank of Salon anniversary. And we talk about inflation, how inflation will drop down from 54 to 31, as you say. But then, the people are going for filler because a lot of people they say, well, we're not the filler because they say the guy dog sweet for it, but what you go eat, so that dog the guy, you know. So a lot of people they look forward to that because say, with this kind drop of inflation, I mean, we're for filler, you know. But some people they say they're not the filler.
I mean, and you know, and again, that is something we also the president acknowledged. They say things are challenging. We know say things are difficult, but we not just sit down idly, we not do nothing. It's their responsibility as President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Now, some of them policies and programs the President don't implement. Not the policies though they feel today, by the time the day done, or tomorrow. But what it means that in the medium to long term, we will see them policies that had again effect. So, for example, on inflation, from 54% in October last year to 31% now. Economic indicators, and I think they were very stubborn. If you talk to the one the way, their own profession, and they may not an economist, but I know that much about economics and economic indicators. I know that they're very stubborn. So even though inflation don't drop from 54 to 31%, the prices of essential commodities, right, get your own challenge. But we also don't see stability with the exchange rates. Now that makes President Bio see, how do we deal with external shocks and the prices of essential commodities? One way for doing, we also get multiple implications. Now how you deal with agriculture, food security, and then components in it. Because we mean that it means we'll reduce the importation of rice, it means we'll get more foreign exchange, it means we'll go for grow more. By the same token, we'll go able for exports. Things like cocoa, coffee, and
Thank
cacao.
you very much. Thank you very much. Well, His Excellency already preparation day on the way for the arrival of the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. As today now the state opening of the second session of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic. So His Excellency, of course, can deliver a speech to the nation. I'm not go able to tell you how long, how much, the hours, but I believe say a lot of things will be included into that speech that His Excellency can deliver today now the chambers of the House of Parliament. And we will going to talk about energy. We will going to talk about President. We will going to talk about, of course, as I tell you, the agriculture. I will talk about a lot of things. I remember I just talked to Imam Sila from Strategic Communication. He talked about inflation, how we don't drop from 54 to 31%. So that tells you how we don't move. Now, His Excellency is already here, and we enter with the entourage. Right now, the President is here, and we go welcome the President as he already don't enter the chamber. Well, because of the rain. Because of the rain, we're not able to forget. His Excellency President, of course, they go for inspect the guard of honor, and Excellency, they do a parade march together with the CDS and the all right. Well, Fambolem, just because of the rain, we're not able to see a display of the inspection. Of course, the parade, we plan see within the regimental force of the Sierra Leone Armed Forces can do. But now, it's unfortunate that we not go able for see that because of the wear manner, the rain, the photo. So the president they can retire now into the chamber and for start the session, because immediately when they enter into the chamber of parliament, the president all right. The president just end the first segment of the state opening of the second session of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic of Sierra Leone. So the president, they go into the chamber right now, and at any time from now we'll hear a statement from the president. This now the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, and we will broadcast live from the forecourt of Parliament. And now we're going to the chamber, and we will continue the broadcast. And well, Fambolem, we will switch over to the chambers now, as His Excellency they enter into the chamber for deliver in state opening address to the nation. Well, until then, we will switch over right now.
scenes here in the world of Parliament. We've just seen the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas, has been ushered in the well of Parliament, and before that we had the First Lady, Her Excellency Madam Fatima Bio, and of course the Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Jule Jallo, has also been ushered into the well of Parliament. And we are seeing colorful scenes here in the well of Parliament. All members of Parliament are here seated, and of course distinguished strangers from ministers of government, deputy ministers, and members from the diplomatic and consular corps are also here present, and of course members of the 40 states, as we await the arrival of His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Madabio, His Excellency, to address the House of Parliament and by extension the people of Sierra Leone. We also await the arrival of His Excellency the President into the chambers and for proceedings to begin. I also want to remind our listeners and viewers that we are live on TV, SABC channel 31, and also live on radio FM 99.9. This is a live broadcast from the House of Representatives, Parliament of Sierra Leone, where we are witnessing the state opening of Parliament on the prestigious event where His Excellency the President will address the nation, and of course address the Honorable House of Representatives. As we await the arrival of the President, I will also now hand you over to my colleague here to do commentary in Creole. But just before that, I also want to remind our listeners and viewers that, of course, this auspicious event marks the start of another session of Parliament, the second session of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic. Starts today after His Excellency the President, Brigadier retired Dr. Julius Madabio, had handed down his speech from his seat here in Parliament, and that will commence the second session of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic. The prestigious event also marks an event whereby the President will address the nation on plans and his agenda for moving the nation forward. Listeners, I will now hand you over to my colleague who will continue the commentary in Creole. That's a cheering from members of Parliament from the ruling SLPP, cheering the now reinstated Clerk of Parliament, Honorable Parantara Waligada. The President, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, is in the well of Parliament. was a thunderous welcome for His Excellency the President, Brigadier Julius Madabio, making his way into the web and to address the nation from his seat here in the state opening of Parliament, marking the second session of the 6th Republic of Sierra Leone. Well, right about that, it's now time for me to hand it over to my colleague, Katin O'Connor, to continue the coverage in a commentary in our local language Creole. Over to you, Katin.
Members say we dey live now na SLBC both TV and radio for make yourself go know wetin dey carry on at the country. Members say First Lady don't come inside, Vice President don't come inside, and President Sef don't come inside. And members say you Sef for be part of this event for make you dey na host, even though you not come, we go make you know wetin dey happen. The event colorful for all. Presidents don't come inside just now, and now the honorable member them they talk, they sing them different party song them for let yourself know say them belong and get victory and all things in between them. Members say na events this way presidents get for address the nation, and na the second session of the 6th Parliament for the Second Republic of Salone. All sides don't occupy dignitaries them all day around, even the newly Deputy Inspector General of Police Sef don't come inside. As you hear the echo in the background, no say na the Salone People's Party honorable and they sing their own party song, and they welcome the president as he don't enter inside the well. Yusuf no go no way, continue for listen. Wait make we dey na for le in not like say now the one they know more with the English, they hear waiting and they talk. We self can see how best we can do as people they talk. We go able for translate so let you self understand. Members say the honorable member they are so now you been vote them, put them so that they can't presidents they can address them now as parliament so open. Now I go hand you over to me company now Mende for make it tell you waiting in self don't see.
Now, your attention, please. Prayers. I will want to call on Al-Haji Imam Zachariah M. Dumbuya to lead us in the Muslim prayer.
الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين فبما رحمة من الله لنت لهم ولو كنت فظا غلظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك فاعف عنهم واستغفر لهم وشاورهم في الأمر فإذا عزمت فتوكل على الله إن الله يحب المتوكلين إن ينصركم الله فلا غالب لكم وإن يخذلكم فمن ذا الذي ينصركم من بعده وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون صدق الله العظيم وقال رسول الكريم الحمد لله يا رب. We are here before this time. I think it's last year to commit this honorable house and its members in your hands for direction. Today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's our second time to appear in this way of parliament to further commit this honorable house in your hands and its members. Almighty Allah, help their legislations, their decisions to reflect our national unity, national development, and our national peace. Almighty Allah, we strongly believe that the parliament of our nation is the conscience of our masses. Their decisions is the people's decision, or are the people's decision. In that note, we pray for you to guide them, see them through, as they will be sitting to discuss issues, the laws, protocols that adhere to the development, peace, and unity of this nation. Allah deliver them, see them through. Let there be a unity of purpose. Let there be a unity in diversity. We only have one nation, we only have Mama Salom. Almighty Allah, help them. Help the leadership, the current leadership, help them to succeed. For their success, it's premise to all of us' success, no matter the political party, no matter the tribe, no matter the region. Help them with this. We want to wish you all a good luck in this new beginning as we recommit you, the members of parliament, this current government, and the affairs of this nation in your hands today for another meet. May Almighty Allah accept it for you, for us, and the leadership. With this, I want to say, Allahumma Rabbana, la tufarik jabina hadha, illa bidhanbin maghfur, wa sa'in mashkur, wa amalin solihin mabrur, wa tijaratan lan tabur, ya aziz ya ghafur. Allahumma Rabbana, la tad'a lana fi majalisna hadha dhanban illa ghafarta, wa la hamman illa faradta, wa la qarban illa nafasta, wa la shaytanan illa taradta, wa la aduwan illa khadalta, ولا ميتا إلا رحمت ولا دولا إلا حديت ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا ولا آخر هي لك رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلى أن تنا على قضائها ويسرتها لنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم ربنا انصر بلدنا سيراليون. اللهم ربنا انصر بلدنا سيراليون. اللهم ربنا اجعلنا من الصالحين. اللهم ربنا اجعلنا من المتحدين. اللهم ربنا اجعلنا من المحاببين برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله واصحابه اجمعين وسلم تسليما كثيرا واخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم.
May Allah accept our prayers. Amen. I will now want to invite the Reverend Father John Josandi to be
The Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991. The 6th Parliament of the Second Republic of Sierra Leone. Commencement of the second session. Proclamation 2024. In exercise of the powers conferred upon him by subsection 1 of section 84 of the Constitution, the President hereby makes the following proclamation. Now therefore, I, Brigadier Retired Julius Mada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Supreme Head of State, Grand Commander of the Order of the Republic, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Fountainhead of Unity, honor, freedom, and justice. Do hereby proclaim that the second session of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic of Sierra Leone
shall be held at Parliament Building, Tower Hill, commencing on 6th August 2024 at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. May the second day of August 2024. Signed, Brigadier Retired Julius Mada Dio, President.
Honorable and Your Worship the Mayor of Freetown, the Lord Chief Justice, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, pray silence for His Excellency, the President. The Honorable Vice President, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Chief Justice, Madam First Lady, former Vice Presidents, Your Worship the Mayor of Freetown City, former Honorable Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, members of the Judiciary, Ministers of Government, Honorable Members of Parliament, our revered traditional and local government leaders, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, members of the Security, Public Safety and Intelligence Services, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, a blessed morning to you all. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, today as we inaugurate the second session of the 6th Parliament of this great Republic of Sierra Leone, we stand united in pride and honor. This is not just a ceremonial event, but a significant milestone in our nation's democratic journey. This fully constituted parliament is a living embodiment of our nation's diversity and unity. Each seat in this esteemed chamber represents the voices, dreams, and aspirations of our people, making it a true reflection of our democratic values. Governance and politics, though intertwined, serve different purposes. Politics is the pathway to governance. It is the spirited dance of democracy. Yet, once elections are behind us, we must embrace governance with a singular focus. If we allow politics to overshadow governance, we fail not only as politicians, but also as custodians of our nation's future. Our citizens have entrusted us with their hopes and dreams, looking to us to transform political promises into tangible realities. I'm heartened by your collective decision to engage in meaningful dialogue despite our differences. This gathering exemplifies the power of redemptive goodwill and our shared commitment to the peace, prosperity, and stability of our beloved Sierra Leone. I'm particularly pleased that the historic Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act I signed into law last year has realized our national aspiration for women to be significantly represented in Parliament and to participate fully in the legislative process. This is a significant milestone in our journey towards an inclusive and equitable society. I commend the leadership of Parliament. The leaders of political parties and the representatives of paramount chiefs for their mutual respect and shared vision in conducting legislative affairs. Together, we can work towards a brighter, more peaceful and prosperous future for Sierra Leone. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the African Union, ECOWAS, and the ambassadors of the United States of America, United Kingdom, and the European Union, whose unwavering support of our locally led dialogue has been instrumental in our journey towards peace and stability. Your support has been instrumental in our journey towards the peace and stability that we enjoy. Thank you. The Cross-Party Committee on Electoral Systems and Management Audit Review Report. We strengthen our efforts to build a more just, inclusive, and equitable democracy. I urge all parties to approach this task with sincerity, commitment, and urgency. I'm profoundly grateful to the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, the Political Parties Regulation Commission, the National Commission for Democracy, the National Commission for Democracy, and the Interreligious Council, the leadership of the two major political parties, the APC and the SLPP, and all national stakeholders. Your dedication to peaceful and constructive engagement has helped ease political tensions and advance our shared national interest. Making peace can be challenging, but enjoying its dividends is deeply rewarding. I thank every citizen of this great nation who has remained committed to peace despite attempts by a few to incite violence and fear. What would we be as leaders and politicians without the citizens to serve? In the timeless words of Nelson Mandela, and I quote, "Great anger and violence can never build a nation," end of quote. Politicians, we must emulate the courage of our people who have resisted division. We must rise above those who spread incivility, disinformation, hate, fear, and division. Turning to one another with empathy, compassion, and respect for our diversity is the only way to maintain, to nurture, and sustain our democracy. The safety of every Sierra Leonean is truly commendable. Our national security architecture is better coordinated, and early warning and response mechanisms are and reflect the realities of the time. Even the best laid plans can encounter obstacles. But with such foresight, a nation remains, without such foresight, a nation remains vulnerable. 2063. I want not merely as statistics, but as milestones in our journey towards a future where our citizens are live a more dignified life, and Sierra Leoneans stand proud and resilient on the global stage. Let our National Development Plan and its implementation be a testament of our collective ambition and a guide to value change and marketing. 5. Development of agribusinesses. We supported the establishment of the first cocoa processing factory, a sardine factory using local ingredients, a cashew processing factory, and a local scale and poultry hatchery. 6. Establishment of agro-industrial hubs. We have created hubs in key rice production areas, rehabilitated markets, replaced hand-drawn ferries with bridges, and constructed a dike and certified a dike of feeder roads. 7. Support to Armed Forces Agriculture. We enhanced the Armed Forces Agricultural Unit with machinery, high quality. 8. Financial instruments for agriculture. We tailored financial such as community banks, $10 million United States agriculture credit facility at 10% interest rate. And a pioneering crop insurance scheme worth $28 million new loans. 9. Arctic and climate smart agriculture. We introduced technology to support agricultural research and establish early warning system for food security, a soil digital information system, and a national farmers registry linked to national identity numbers. 10. Empowerment of women and youth. In select African countries in achieving rice self-sufficiency. Lives and equip them to achieve their utmost. Human capital development is a profound commitment to our people's well-being and future. Over the past 6 years, my government has significantly increased funding for basic education, technical and vocational training, and higher education. Our achievement in education financing, legislative reviews, governance reforms, inclusive tuition-free access, student retention initiatives, gender parity, STEM education, teacher training, and student learning outcomes have garnered international acclaim from our development partners and the United Nations Secretary General. We have expanded nationwide facilities for tertiary, technical, and vocational education. reskilling and entrepreneurship training, particularly for youth and women, strengthening our middle workforce development. Investment in education and skills training catalyzes inclusive and sustainable economic growth, fostering innovation, entrepreneurship, and a competitive, productive workforce. This attracts new capital ventures and foreign direct investment. My government will continue to collaborate with existing partners and seek new cooperation frameworks for education and skills training. Measures to this end will be presented to this House in due course. Human capital development, healthcare. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our commitment to affordable and quality healthcare aligns with the global call for universal health coverage. Building on the successes of the past 5 years, we have leveraged health financing through partnerships with the World Bank, Global Fund, and FCDO, among others, implementing schemes to reduce patient medicines and supplies to have further reduced the health cost for patients. Our partnership with Mashishi have provided 5,000 free surgeries to Sierra Leoneans, and other public-private sector projects are ongoing. Healthcare infrastructure investments have increased significantly through collaboration with partners, including JICA, partners in health, and the UAE government. We are rehabilitating 16 government hospitals and have completed a new hospital in Jujima, 110 chief hospital in Putloko, and the 142-bed Julius Mother Built Pediatric Center of Excellence in Additional projects include constructing the Waterloo Hospital, the 166-bed hospital center of excellence, the 166 hospital center of excellence in Konon. Fistula operating theater in Bo, and installing solar electrification at 6 hospitals and 200 approved malaria vaccine. That is about 1,700,000 doses are available until 2025, and routine HPV vaccination for girls aged 10 have strengthened our health outcomes. Our handling of the COVID-19 pandemic received high commendations. To build on this, we have established the National Public Health Agency to coordinate global and regional partnerships and lead prevention, responsiveness, surveillance, diagnostics, and vaccines for epidemics. We are committed to broadening the legislative changes in these measures and rural livelihoods. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, job creation. The Sierra Leone Local Content Agency fosters market and job linkages through supply market development programs, tailored TVET schemes, dedicated made in Sierra Leone shares in retail outlets, and bookkeeping and entrepreneurship skills training. 18 cocoa, coffee, and cashew block farms have been established, increasing productivity, entrepreneurship, sustainable livelihood, and creating thousands of jobs in the informal economy, and rural communities. Rural livelihood. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, rural development is crucial for our nation's growth and stability. A significant portion of our farming and food production occurs in the rural communities. Rural does not have to mean poverty. By developing our rural areas, we can alleviate the burden on cities and ensure even greater growth across the country. We have invested in rural roads, bridges, markets, and social infrastructure across 5 regions to create safe, sustainable, and resilient economic growth. I'll start with a nationwide generation number identification licenses, digital road records, and fitness cards, and biometric driver's licenses. The Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority has decentralized services with new electronic connectivity to outstations and reactivated the emergency toll-free 244 call center. Port infrastructure. I thank this honorable house again for repealing and replacing the Port Act 94 with the Motors and Harbour Authority 2023. Our port has passed the International Ship and Port Security Code and rigorous IMO audits, and in recognition from Port Management Association for West Africa and Central as the most improved port in terms of ease of doing business. Cargo productivity and turnaround time for 2 containers. Airport infrastructure. In an international civil aviation organization audit. I thank the House for ratifying bilateral air service agreement with several countries, including air travel options. Ethiopia Airlines has started scheduled flights to Freetown International Airport, and further aviation sector measures will be presented to this House. Telecommunication and digital infrastructure. Telecommunications investment have improved last-mile fiber connectivity, expanded new networks, increased telephone users, and narrowed the digital gap. These efforts have enhanced digital literacy and skills development, particularly for women and girls, and extended digital financial services to rural and unbanked populations, improving financial inclusion and overall economic development. The National Telecommunications Authority is working with mobile operators to extend and improve voice and data services, boosting economic activities and public service delivery. To enhance cybersecurity resilience, we have conducted capacity audits and to deliver broadband internet. We seek to land a second submarine fiber cable and operationalize the Sierra Leone Internet Exchange to improve connectivity and digital interaction within our borders. Public service infrastructure reform. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, effective public service architecture is essential for delivering the dividends of democracy and ensuring seamless public service delivery. It strengthens governance, enhances public accountability and transparency at all levels. This principle is central to our new medium-term national development plan. My government will implement the following initiatives supported by forthcoming measures. 1 is the annual public sector reform dialogues. 2, review of outdated policies and laws. 3, human resource audit for all public service employees. 4, development of a performance management policy. 5, publication of annual state of public sector reports. 6, institutional capacity needs assessment. 7, effective coordination and monitoring. And 8, rationalization and harmonization of public sector mandates and structures. The Wages and Compensation Commission is now operational. Civil service reforms include reviewing the Civil Service Code, regulations and rules, and developing a competence framework to guide recruitment, professionalism, and performance management. Regular audits maintain the accuracy and integrity of public sector payroll. Cross-cutting areas. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, moving on from key achievements in our Big 5 game changers, I will now brief the House on significant cross-cutting areas, starting with the economy. Building a resilient and diversified economy. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our prudent economic policies and public financial management reforms over the past years have stabilized the economy and ensured sustainable recovery from multiple shocks. Our economy is now larger than in 2018, and we are on track for a 4% growth rate in 2020. That growth is driven by increased productivity in agriculture, mining, local manufacturing, and services. Economic diversification is integral to our sustainable development strategy. Through import substitution and light manufacturing, we have increased agriculture and fisheries contribution to GDP from 3 to 14%, creating more jobs. Sierra Leone is now a net exporter of vegetable oil to the ECOWAS market and produces and we also produce a variety of local products, including soap, cement, soft drink, fruit juices, confectionaries, beer, iron oil, wooden sheets, seasoning pills, tomato paste, onion, in the fishing sector, we have exceeded revenue targets, curbed illegal fishing, protected fish stocks, and improved export certification. We will develop commercial aquaculture systems, increase fish production, and create more jobs for women and youth in rural areas. The fish harbor investment is critical for our economy, generating billions of loans and stimulating related investments. We assure responsible ecosystem monitoring and evaluation. Our medium-term plans include making the harbor a center of excellence for marine education and duty-free trade zone for exporters and importers. The mining sector. Adhering to international environmental, social, and governance best practices, local mining companies now benefit from significant payments. Local mining communities now benefit from significant payments, including surface rent and community development. Over the coming years, we will enhance revenue generation, review legislative instruments, support artisanal and small-scale mining, protect mining-affected communities, employ advanced technology to combat illegal mining, and boost women's participation in the sector. Domestic revenue mobilization. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our medium-term revenue mobilization strategy is improving domestic revenue collection.
Sustainable debt levels.
Yes, sir.
Inflation declined from 55% in October last year to 32% in June.
That is instilling optimism and hope for the future among our citizens and stakeholders. The yuan has stabilized and appreciated against major currencies. We have increased storage capacity for strategic petroleum stocks and reduced fuel costs, easing the transportation and economic burdens remaining. These efforts demonstrate our commitment to building a resilient and prosperous economy. Mobilization of external resources. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in a world where smaller nations grapple with limited
Resources. Creatively mobilizing, funding, and forging supportive partnerships is paramount. Crafting visionary plans
is one thing, but without resources, they remain words on paper. Strategic funding mobilization is a cornerstone of our commitment to sustainable development and economic growth. Our recent achievement in securing external resources highlight this commitment. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our prudent economic policies have restored donor and investor confidence, leading to substantial support from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. In November 2023, we successfully concluded our previous IMF program, meeting all benchmarks and securing over 200 million United States dollars. And that is essential for delivering services and mitigating external shocks.
Building on this success, the IMF has greenlighted negotiations for 2 new programs. The extended
credit facility and the Resilience and Sustainability Trust. These initiatives will provide approximately 500 million United States dollars to support economic stabilization and combat climate change, fostering a resilient economy. We have met the fiscal and monetary targets required to continue these negotiations, with final approval anticipated in October. So you have to keep praying. Furthermore, over the past 3 years, we completed 3 budget support operations with the World Bank, resulting in 265 million United States dollars in direct budget support. We are currently negotiating additional operations that will bring 65 million United States dollars in direct budgetary support for the 2024 fiscal year. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in June I co-chaired an investment roundtable on renewable energy and food security for Sierra Leone in Vienna, Austria, in conjunction with the OPEC Fund for Development and the Arab Coordinating Group. We presented the Bumbuna hybrid
pledging 800 million United States dollars
to support our aspirations for energy and food security by 2030. The pledges include the OPEC Fund, 250 million United States dollars, Badia, 250 million United States dollars, IFAD, 90 million US dollars,
Africa 50, 130 million United States dollars, and the Qatar Fund for Development 80 million United States dollars.
Trusted partners including the Islamic Development Bank, Africa Finance Corporation, Arab Gulf Program for Development, UNIDO. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, attaining the Millennium Challenge Cooperation Compact for the first time in our nation's history is a significant achievement, placing us among countries that meet rigorous standards of stability, democratic governance, public finance transparency, and economic freedom, and signaling Sierra Leone as a prime investment destination. The 480 million MCC Compact will drive profound governance reforms in the energy sector, enhancing financial viability, increasing access to reliable energy, and stimulating growth in agriculture, mining, and manufacturing. MCC investments will create jobs and new income streams for Sierra Leonean businesses. Governance, human rights, and justice reforms. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, justice and transparency forms the bedrock of a stable, prosperous society. Corruption erodes the soul of a nation, entrenching systematic injustice and lasting consequences. As stewards of this nation, we must embody the rule of law, ensuring that justice and transparency guide our every decision and action. My government has consistently scored high marks in international anti-corruption indicators. Such as those by the MCC and Afrobarometer, due to our dedication to fighting and minimizing fraud, waste, and abuse. The Anti-Corruption Commission's rigorous strategy has led to a record high recoveries, doing so independently. Confidence in the audit service has increased. It is now covering 85% of government expenditure and expanding into new audit areas like environmental and climate change, information system, forensics, and extractive industries. With the European Union's support, we are deepening decentralization, empowering local authorities to more effectively identify, plan, budget, monitor, and assess projects. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has advanced peaceful coexistence in communities, particularly in selecting traditional leaders and resolving tensions. The Human Rights Commission, maintaining its A accreditation and complying with Paris principles, continues to strengthen partnerships with international and regional entities. With significant contribution to making elections, to monitoring elections, have ensured oversight and a reduction in election-related violence, thereby safeguarding the democratic process. Legislation will be introduced to empower the Commission further to uphold bearers accountable and highlight citizens' responsibilities. I'm really tired for beats. Addressing gaps in existing laws to ensure swift, impartial, and equitable justice. The Modernized Criminal Procedures Act has been enacted, and we have invested in state-of-the-art judicial infrastructure. Disparity in the judiciary. Address gender disparity in the judiciary and alternatives to detention for children in conflict with the law.
Gender Equity and Women's Empowerment. Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
Since the enactment of the GUI Act, gender has been mainstreamed in policies and legislation across government. We have strengthened response strategies for sexual and gender-based violence and implemented actions for the financial inclusion and empowerment of women, especially in rural areas. The bipartisan support for the private member bill prohibiting child marriage, championed by Her Excellency the First Lady.
Significant step towards realizing the full potential
of our girls, underscoring our collective commitment to their well-being. In the wise words of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, I quote, "Investing in women is smart economics."
And investing in girls, catching them young, upstream, is even smarter economics.
My government's firm commitment to promoting and protecting the right of women in Sierra Leone is a promise for a more equitable and prosperous society. Social inclusion. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, empathy and compassion in governance are not merely about ticking the boxes. It is about changing inclusion and transforming the lives of the most vulnerable. To ensure the right to work and a decent livelihood, my government has provided financial support to the vulnerable, the aged, and other disadvantaged populations through cash transfers to supplement household income. In line with our commitment to the Global Disability Inclusive Sustainable Goals, we are domesticating international instruments to improve representation and service delivery for persons with disability. The mass digital registration of social safety net recipients and the development of social protection bill, we formalize our commitment to supporting the most vulnerable populations.
Building household resilience against short-term and lingering shocks and aiding the transition to stable employment.
Our single interest Munafa scheme has seen recovery and repayment rates that are very high, with nearly 10,000 participants. The World Bank grant is supporting 60 agro-processing SMEs across various value chains. Synthetic drugs and substance abuse. My government is urgently addressing the threat of illicit drug trafficking and addiction, particularly the rise in synthetic drug use, such as Kush, which has led to increased fatality among our youth. We declared a national emergency on drugs and substance abuse in April and established the National Task Force on Drugs and Substance Abuse to address drug substance abuse through a comprehensive strategy. We will continue to enhance the psychosocial services, skills training for rehabilitated addicts, and law enforcement against illicit drug activities. Additionally, we will advance mental health care by enacting comprehensive mental health laws this year. Anti-human trafficking. Since the Anti-Human Trafficking and Migrant Smuggling Act 2022, we have intensified efforts to combat human trafficking by expanding
securitized birth and death registration, civil registration, and ID management
systems, as well as establishing a statelessness secretariat to reduce statelessness. Independent Media Commission Act and cybersecurity laws, my government remains committed to supporting a free press in which no journalist is harmed or jailed for practicing journalism.
Our civic education and engagement strategy will build trust and counter fake news with proactive, accurate, and timely information. Weekly
Conferences are simulcast on major national media platforms, supported by our new civic education agenda and communication strategy, which provides synchronized messaging on government's Big Five agenda: climate change, environmental justice, public health, and digital literacy. Foreign policy and international cooperation.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members,
Just as it is vital to care for the domestic affairs and
ensure Sierra Leone works for Sierra Leoneans, we must also consider our nation's relationship with the rest of the world. The fate of nations is often greatly influenced by the quality of their foreign policies, which can either promote thriving economies or exacerbate suffering. Multilateralism, therefore, plays a crucial role in a country's growth and development, fostering collaboration and shared prosperity.
Sierra Leone continues to progressively shape and advance its foreign policy in line with global realities and regional developments, while promoting national interest. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, mindful of recent developments within our sub-region, including breaches of constitutional order, my government remains committed to peace, security, and safeguarding the sanctity of constitutional democracy. As a founding ECOWAS member, we recognize the importance of a collective approach to security, and we will continue to engage positively with sister states in transition. Our government acknowledges the link between security and development and strives to deepen our contribution to regional and international peace. Sierra Leone's recent membership in the African Union Peace and Security Council 2024-2026 will amplify its voice in advancing peace and preventing conflict in our sub-region and continent. We are committed to expanding our diplomatic presence globally to improve our competitiveness and benefit from friendly relations. We recently opened a diplomatic mission in Qatar and plan to open embassies in France and Algeria. Additionally, more countries are establishing embassies in Freetown, including Iceland, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, with Russia and South Korea and Brazil expressing similar intentions. Sierra Leone at the United Nations Security Council. Thank you. transformation from a situation country to a principled and effective member resulted from my leadership and the concerted effort of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Affairs. Sierra Leone now has a seat at the highest table on matters of international peace and security, presenting a unique opportunity to participate in global discussions and influence decisions in the world's premier body responsible for maintaining international peace and security. In the past 6 months, Sierra Leone has pursued its priorities through partnership and effective representation. We have called attention to critical issues affecting Africa and the broader international community, advocating for peace, security, accountability, and sustainable development to address conflict root causes. Through collaborative strategies and a commitment to multilateralism, Sierra Leone has significantly contributed to the Security Council's work in coordinating the A3+ mechanism and the elected 10 members of the Council, E10. We continue to enhance our profile and influence globally, leveraging our experiences and collaborating with international partners. Sierra Leone has co-signed important commitments for women's peace and security, climate and food security, and support for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees, UNRWA. Sierra Leone has taken an effective and active role in debates, supporting UN peacekeeping operations, and sponsoring resolutions on African security issues, post-conflict reconstruction, peace building, and conflict prevention. Highlights include co-writing and adopting the presidential statement on peace consolidation in West Africa, and co-sponsoring a ceasefire resolution in Gaza.
As coordinator of the Committee of 10 African Heads of State, we continue to champion the common African position on the Security Council reform
and the need to rectify historical injustice of Africa's exclusion from the permanent category of the Security Council. This month, we assumed the presidency of the Security Council.
Coordinating its affairs, showcasing our national resilience and commitment to sustainable peace. Through our efforts, we advance the agenda for women, youth, peace, and security.
Support post-conflict reconstruction and address climate change. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Sierra Leone's proactive participation at the United Nations Security Council is the legacy we will bequeath. A principled and respected Sierra Leone on the global stage, which I did not get when I came to office.
Climate change. Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
Addressing climate change is not just an option. It is a necessity in a climate vulnerable country like ours. The catastrophic potential of climate-related events can erase decades of development in an instant. Ignoring climate change means causing disaster, and there will be no country to enjoy or be proud of if we fail in this duty. Last year, I established the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, Renewable Energy, and Food Security, PCREF, within the Office of the President.
This initiative recognizes the interconnected priorities of climate change, renewable energy, and food security.
xxxx aims to ensure policy coherence, mobilize international partnerships and resources, provide advocacy and support implementation across government agencies. These efforts are vital for addressing climate impact, achieving sustainable energy access, and enhancing food and nutrition resilience. Our government has undertaken significant environmental management initiatives, including sustainable forestry, reforestation, carbon sequestration assessment, and access to voluntary carbon credit markets. The Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency now provides tailored forecasts for various sectors based on
to this house.
to our people's well-being. However, the realization of these aspirations demand more than plans and promises. It requires stability, legitimacy to hold our various positions.
Our fingers must never drift away from the nation's cause. We must be both responsible and responsive. We owe a profound debt to our international partners,
whose steadfast support and collaboration enhance our capacity to achieve our goals, and to every individual and organization. Collaboration and commitment to the principles of good governance are vital. United in purpose and steadfast in our resolve, we shall navigate the path ahead with courage and clarity. May our endeavors be blessed with success and enduring impact. May God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone.
For a 5-day debate on the motion of thanks to His Excellency the President. Deputy Ministers of Government, Your Worship the Mayor of Freetown, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Speaker, the sitting of the House.
His Excellencies will be accompanied by the Vice President and the First Lady.
The President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, few of which I shall be reading to you so that you'll get to understand what the President said in his speech. A reminder, opening the second session of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic. The President, in his duty and mandate, has done his bit, where he made several talk. Let's go.
At the same time, how do you have innovative ideas to manage people, and how do you...
Months ago, in the BBC, therapeutic sessions to help them regain their strength to fight off substance abuse. How is that? What's the time frame on that rehabilitation center?
Right now, the new actual treatment center has been established at xxxx Psychiatric Hospital. It's a 60-bed facility with all of the medications that are needed and all of the medical support and clinical support that's needed at that point. These are looking at extreme cases where you have psychiatric complications of substance abuse, and we're working very hard with them. And what we want to do is to transition people from that, where you're looking at actual treatment, to rehabilitation centers, which is a slower process of reintegration, of normalization. So that's ongoing right now. I think it's very effective in the free time.
Now, as I initially said, the President his speech and he has concluded. We will now try to see whether we'll have a few talk with some of the members. Now I skedaddle a bit over. Hello, ma'am. Now this is SLBC.
Okay.
Let's get your name now.
My name is Honorable Rosemary Bangura, and I'm representing the All People's Congress. And
what is your own personal opinion about the President's speech? Did he touch on key issues that are affecting our country?
Well, as always, presidents, as always, in the presidential speech, they will touch on some areas that really affects the well-being of the nation. Yeah, I will say that he touched on some areas that affects the well-being of the nation. Yeah.
Now, what was observed?
I think so. That's a subtle message, a way of saying that we are mourning democracy. Yeah, that is the message we want to put out.
So, in actual time, you are mourning democracy. What are some of the things that you think has gone wrong that the president and the government needs to pay attention to?
Well, I don't want to preempt, because that will say when we speak. Because at the end of the day, we are going to debate the speech, so I don't want to preempt. And during the debates, I think members of parliament will have the opportunity to look through the speech, and then they will be able to key on certain areas where they will be able to say this is good and that is bad.
The state opening, and some of the things that he said or alluded to was that he's perfectly happy that the Well of Parliament had discussed, debated the Giwi Act, and which recognized the contribution of women in our country. In his address also, the President thanked citizens that are committed to follow the rule of law and also departing from statements that also will cause incitements or insurrection. He thanked these people because they show their commitment to having what exactly is supposed to be done in the country. Another thing that the president alluded to was that he discussed his government medium-term development plan. That touched on economical strides that his government will be taking to actually make sure that infrastructural development, electrification strides are being put at top notch. The president also...
People's Party.
Thank you very much. Now, the parliament will be discussing it, will be debating upon what the president said. But some of the things that he said that is of great importance is Sierra Leone should be agricultural resilient, that we should pivot our mind towards agricultural development. Based on your own perception, how are we doing in that area?
Well, first of all, we have refocused our minds to that vision that is agricultural resilient, because you need to have, first of all, the focus in aspect of any ideology. And the beginning has been difficult, but it's fitting in. Everything is coming together. I believe you. I believe you in me. Perhaps after another 2 or 3 years, we will be in a position to export, not only feed ourselves.
Speaking of exports, now when the president was talking, he also made assertion that as at now, Sierra Leone is able to export oil. How far is infrastructure that produces oil, that makes sure they manufacture oil, how enlarged is some of our infrastructure in Sierra Leone that produces oil and all other food items?
Okay, I think we should redefine, because as we have started exporting to neighboring countries, there could be a demand to export beyond our neighboring countries. And therefore we are going to build on the infrastructure. But there's a basic infrastructure to enable us to produce oil for our use and for exports.
All right. For now, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, now I put to stop this coverage, and it is concluded now in the Well of Parliament, where we just had the second session of the state opening of the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic. And now they would be having a press conference where several discussions will be made also to national development. Until that time, I have been Julian Kuruma. Thanks for watching the SLBC.